Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Storm Collectibles Golden Axe, Gilius Thunderhead, and Chickenleg. Today I'll be reviewing these figures in the following categories: accessories, articulation, design. Are they essential to your collection? Functionality and price. Once all scores are totaled, I'll give you my opinion if this 2-pack is a pass or a purchase. So I am very excited to have this. It has been delayed for quite some time. I've had this now for a few weeks, just getting around to reviewing it. So for accessories, this is pretty light for Storm Collectibles offering, unless you're including Chickenleg as an accessory. And I'm unsure if I should include Chickenleg as an accessory. Here's my dilemma. If this ends up being part of my action figure of the year, and I consider this an accessory, will it still be considered as a 2-pack? Curious to how you feel about that. So I'm going to elect not to count Chickenleg as an accessory. So we receive this axe, which is done very well. You can see some scarring. You can see some dry brush. Looks like it's done in a brownish color. What I really like about this weapon is the stability. It is sturdy. It is not bendable. This is what you want in your adult action figures. We receive an additional head sculpt, which I really like. Storm Collectible did a great job with this one. You can see a lot of the wrinkling and facial features, the expression really shining through, the grimace on the teeth. And you would think that the teeth would be lost in the beard, which is white, but you can really distinguish the two. Really great paint job by Storm. And then you have the eyes looking up, which I wouldn't think that I would like so much, but it really looks good. The paint app is applied clean. You have some dry brushing over the green. The horns themselves are sharp, and looking at the hair, it's pretty soft in the back. And then you receive 3 pair of hands in total, 2 on the figure, which I believe are fisted. You have these open hands. Hands have wrinkling. You can see that veins and muscle definition really like this. So for overall accessories, there are certainly some things that are missing. They could have included a blade. They could have included potions, which would have really been a nice touch. So for overall accessories, I'm going to give Gilius a 6 out of 10. So for articulation, the head doesn't go back at all. It does move forward some, does rotate. You have a great amount of pivot and some shift back and forth. The arm only kicks out to the side that much. You do have a butterfly joint collapsing forward this much, backwards that much. The arm is able to rotate a full 360 if you choose to. You do have an upper bicep cut. Elbows are double jointed, bending in that much. The wrists are on a peg, so they can rotate, go up and down, and side to side. So now with the torso, let's see what we have here. It seems that we have Storm's floating A and B torso. I'm not sure how much movement we're going to get. So trying to move the top portion, you really don't get any movement, or at least it doesn't stay. It does crunch forward about that much, backwards about that much. Using the combination of the two, he does rotate to the side that much, crunch forward that much, backwards that much. And you do have some pivot, not a lot. So with the leg, it is able to kick forward only that much, greatly restricted by this, backwards that much. You do have some upper rotation. Next point of the rotation should have been at the boot, but it is not. Knees are double jointed, kicking way up. The legs are able to go all the way out to the side. The foot is able to drop down that much, forward that much. Not great pivot on the inside. Now the outside, the toe articulation is able to go up that much. So for overall articulation, you have something that's so sad. The articulation points are built in, but they're greatly restricted due to the cloth that's around the figure, or plastic, or rubber, whatever this is. So for overall articulation, I'm going to give Gilius a 6 out of 10. All right, so I almost forgot about Chickenleg. There's some assembly required. We're going to go ahead and push this tail right in here. All right, may need to go off. Nope, there we go. So I didn't get that snap that I wanted, but it appears to be secure. So starting with the front of the figure, the beak portion, unfortunately, it does not close. That was a greatly missed opportunity. And there's no movement in this headpiece. It's all one solid piece from the beak to the beginning of the attachment for the tail. So it seems the only movable pieces are the legs. So let's go ahead and see how they work. So they do move forward that much, backwards that much. They do come out to the side. I'm not sure how that's going to help any, but if you can see that little bit of movement to the side, maybe here is a little bit better. So under the knee, it does extend that much, collapses that much. Under this portion here, you're able to extend it. The foot is able to drop that much, go forward that much, and absolutely no rocker. Coming to the tail, it does rotate. You have another point of rotation at this yellow piece here, and the tail is on the bendy wire, so you're able to get it to bend. So very limited articulation with Chickenleg. Really want to see how this figure stands. I think if you're going to stand them, it's going to have to be with sort of the legs in this position here. So for design, Storm Collectibles absolutely killed this. Let's go ahead and start with the head. Really digging the green helmet that we have here, the light silver brushing. Also the horns are pretty pointy up top. I think I remember the horns being more of a bronze color. I could be wrong about that. And I'm really digging this face sculpt. I want to go ahead and pop this one off and add on the alternative head sculpt. This is probably going to be mine of the one that I go with. Just really digging that grimace hair, the sculpting in the face, all of the wrinkles. And one thing that I really like about this tunic is that it has the McFarlane flare. It is very textured. Looking close, you can see that everything here is painted clean. The black belt, the green around it, as well as the brass or gold buckle up front. And then the definition of muscles, really like how Storm Collectibles overall does with muscular sculpting. It really looks good. And coming to the short legs, fitting as he's a dwarf, and the brown boots. Now with the brown boots, I would say that we could have some dry brushing. I would like to have more of a dirtier look on this figure. With Storm Collectibles, typically they do variants. I think instead of going bloody with this, dirty would be the way that I would go. Now, I am deducting 1 point. I'm not sure if this is fair, but if you remember the cover of Golden Axe, these characters were shiny, looked like they bathed in baby oil. So being that we don't have that high sheen to them, I'm going to deduct 1 point for that. So for overall design, I'm going to give Gilius a 9 out of 10. So is Gilius Thunderbird essential to your collection? And so Gilius is one of the main 3 characters in the game, the dwarf hero. His appearances were in Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe 3, Golden Axe The Revenge of Death Adder, and Golden Axe Beast Rider. So the way the story starts out for Gilius, Death Adder attacked this village, killing everyone in it with the exception of him. The story fast forwards about 6 years from there, where Gilius joined forces with Tyrus Flare and the Axe Battler. Together they face the forces of Death Adder, retrieve the Golden Axe, which I didn't recall being a thing in the game, makes sense to why it was called Golden Axe, and spread peace across the land, well, until Golden Axe 2. So as far as toy options, I did some limited research. I wasn't able to find any figures on Golden Axe, which is a bit odd for me. I figured that there was some sort of vintage toys, maybe in that 4-inch scale. I was unable to find anything. So as far as my understanding and knowledge goes, this is the only Gilius Flare that you're able to receive in action figure form. So as far as being essential to your collection, I'm going to go ahead and give Gilius a 10 out of 10. Functionality, as you can see, Gilius clearly passed the stand test. Let's go ahead and start with the head. So the head is unable to look up any due to the long hair that's in the back. There are also restrictions around this tunic, unfortunately, as I'm pretty sure there's some great sculpted articulation within his body, but due to this piece being rigid or tight fitting, it doesn't really allow for Gilius to really use everything that he has within that torso. Well, I feel like I was able to force it into a better crunch than I was in the articulation section. With the leg, yeah, that's what you're going to get. So let's go ahead and bring in some of the accessories. We're gonna go ahead and pull this hand off. We're gonna go ahead and put on one of his weapon holding hands. Pops off easy enough. You know, I constantly say I prefer the peg and the hand system. So we're gonna go ahead and port this through. This piece is actually a bit large at the bottom. I'm gonna actually see if I'm able to get him to hold it by wedging it in this way, and I'm gonna have to go off camera. So the hands are very soft. You can use either method. You can pull the thumb and the fingers back and push that part through, or you can go from the opening in the top and push it down. And as you can see, he holds this very tight and secure. So that means that he's able to, whoa, come back arm. That he's able to hold the axe in one hand stances. All right, all put back together. Let's go ahead and put up Chickenleg, and I'm gonna stand him with his legs like so, using his tail. Let's see if I can put the camera down some to support him. Though I'm pretty sure even if the tail is lifted, he's able to sit, stand, whatever position he's in securely. So I'm gonna go ahead and prop Gilius on top, and I'm gonna take a few seconds to see if I can get him situated properly. Okay, so we have some issues. Unfortunately, Gilius does not fit properly on this. So you're either in a position to where, let's see if I can just move these legs forward. He doesn't sit all the way down over this saddle. So if you arch him forward some, you may be able to fix that, but he slides down and his legs are just awkwardly spread to the side. Doesn't really look good. Also, there's nothing for him to hold. So I put on one of the weapon holding hands and sort of use the horn on the saddle to support him. Not really great. So for your display, it may be better just having him off to the side, which is unfortunate. I will certainly be deducting points for that. So for overall functionality, due to the hair, his head is only able to move so much. Due to the tunic, it restricts a lot of the torso movement. And with Chickenleg, unfortunately, Gilius does not sit upon him properly. So for overall functionality, I'm giving Gilius a 4 out of 10. So for pricing, Gilius Thunderhead and Chickenleg comes in at $135. That's before taxes, that's before shipping. Adding the two, you're looking at a price point of roughly a whopping $152. So now, is this 2-pack worth the price of admission? Well, let's see what it comes with. In terms of accessories, you don't receive much, and typically Storm Collectible is known for stuffing the box with a lot of items. Now that all depends if you count Chickenleg as an accessory. I chose not to in this. So you get one additional head sculpt, only one weapon, and 3 pair of hands. The hands I feel is enough. I would have loved to have some potions included with this. So there's no question that this is a lot to command for a 7-inch scale character. It does come with something that we don't see a lot packed in with action figures, and that's some type of animal, but it's still $150. So for overall pricing, I'm going to give this 2-pack a 7 out of 10 for pricing. That should give this 2-pack an overall cliff score of. So now, is Gilius Thunderbird and Chickenleg a pass or a purchase? If you can't tell, this 2-pack is an absolute purchase. I do wish that he would properly sit upon Chickenleg. Aside from that, I'm very happy with the offering. Would have liked to have a few additional accessories included, but this is a great looking figure, and it's one of the action figures that I really like to collect, and that's ones that you can put in other lines. You can throw this with your Mythical Legions, your Masters of the Universe, your Thundercats, even your Ninja Turtle figures, and he will fit right in. I'm also very happy that this line is so expansive. I really didn't know how far Storm Collectible was going to go with Golden Axe, but it seems that we're getting further with Golden Axe than we are with any of their other lines. So it seems that we're marching upon completion. At least I thought. Recently with Comic-Con, they showed a few extra figures that I wasn't expecting to see. So hopefully this line continues to go. So before we do some size comparisons, my son actually dug up this weapon that came with the Marvel Legends, I think Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. I wouldn't put this part into the hand as it's definitely going to stretch it, but I'm going to see if I can get him to hold it up here. So if you take a look at this, it actually fits. It's a bit warped. Probably have to heat that up to straighten it out. But I think this weapon looks pretty good. So who knows if I have some other accessories that I can include with him. So here's Gilius standing by himself. Let's go ahead and throw in Lionel from Super 7. Where's my Chitara? You can go ahead and add her in as well. Let's remove Lionel. Let's go ahead and get rid of Lionel, put in a smaller character, which is Raphael from the NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mikey. Theo. And Theo too. That would how are we gonna say that this laugh? Gotcha.
Okay, and here are the Turtles from Playmates, the 2012 series. I don't have Tyler's Flare or the Axe Battler close to hand, so when I review Tyler's Flare, I'll make sure to do a comparison between these figures. Also, I'll add in more Storm collectible figures as I don't have those close to hand either. So thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. I hope to see you during the next episode.